Hello people of the internet, it's the Who Gaming here, and today I'm back with a new Quest TCG video, guys. And as you can see, it is another speed art video, this time of a creature card. As you can see, it's a silver rare creature from the archetype that I demonstrated in the video before last. He doesn't have a baby version yet though, so my artist needs to get on that. This card is going to be called Loyal Leo. And you know what? Instead of just playing music this time, I'm going to narrate over the speed art so you can get a little bit of an insight onto what's in my head whenever I do this. If you guys enjoy this sort of version of doing it, then please leave a comment stating that, and I'll do this for all of them. All right, guys. So I guess I'll see you guys, well, in about 2 seconds because I'm going to be narrating it. The artwork for the card begins, just like every other, with the outline. Now, I'm going to start off by complimenting this sketch. I mean, I wish I could take credit for it, because it looks so awesome, but all of the credit goes to my artist. I can't, I just wish I had the skills to pay the bills for this. But something that I think should be focused on is, whenever you're doing the line work for a card, especially if you're doing it digitally, because it does seem to be more apparent if you're doing it digitally, you need to focus on line thickness. Like if you can notice, there are sometimes when I use a 2-pixel diameter brush, and sometimes when I use a 1-pixel brush. For finer details, you use a finer brush, just like in real life. So if you are doing your artwork digitally, that's something you have to keep in mind. You can't make just every line exactly the same. The outline here, doing the outline for this, it took a very long time. I think this sketch overall took an hour and something to finish. But you just need to focus on when you're doing just the sketch. You just need to focus on line thickness is really just the most important part when you're doing the outline. A lot more factors come into play when you're working with color, but outline, when you're doing the outline, you have to work on line size. Now these chains were the bane of my existence. I used a 1-pixel diameter brush to do this, but it was just, oh my goodness, it was just so hard to get in there, and the picture that I took of the sketch didn't really come out that well when it came to the chain, so I just had to pretty much guess where the chains were. That was just awful. It was even really bad when it came to coloring it. Now these details on the scabbard for the sword, I think they came out really cool whenever I got to the coloring. But okay, now we've finally finished with the sketch, and I'm going in to do the color. I take the skin tone that I use for all other humanoid-ish cards, and I'm applying it to the face and hands and all of that. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to start coloring in the hair. And I took a lot of inspiration from, I don't know, I just looked at him and I instantly thought Leo from Fairy Tail, what was his name? Loki, I think was the name he went by. But I just took a lot of inspiration from him. I mean, that's rightly so, he is the Leo. But I also took a lot of, I don't know why, I just got the instant vision of just Ichigo when I did it. So I went with the sort of Ichigo colored hair, like, you know, the orange hair, you know, and then I went with the orange jacket just to kind of, because it's the coat, so I'm kind of implying that it's like the lion's coat, and then I go to the little wrist there, and I do all of that. Whenever I'm done with this, I'm going to start with all of the details and accents on the coat itself. Oh, this was also very difficult, trying to get the in-betweens of the chains, so you can as if you're seeing the coat in between, or seeing the coat between the holes in it, and that was very difficult to try and figure out where it was going. And this here, coloring in the chains, I had to go back in with the eraser tool to try and get all of the orange that kind of got stuck in there. With the eyes, I instantly thought, like, whenever I think of the most heroic color for an eye, it's always blue. Like, you have that just, you know what I'm saying. It's like that's whenever you think of a heroic character or something like that, you think blue eyes. You think like they're, I don't know. But I went in and I did these little I guess I think of them as like wing designs on there. I don't really know what was implied there, but now I went and I just wanted to give him something like to, kind of contrast the orange or something to so he wasn't completely orange like so I gave him like sort of like blue jeans or whatever. And then I went on the boots. I used a lot of I tried to use a lot of dark colors to kind of make it look like a boot. I don't know. And I wanted to use some gold with him because he's the loyal Leo, and you think of Leo and you think of it as sort of like they're the king, like the lions, or they're like the kings of the savannah or whatever. So I was thinking, like royalty, sort of like a golden kind of thing. So I did that with the sword, and I went back in with those detail pieces and did orange. And I just had to have that red there. I don't know why. It just came to me. Then I went with some silver on the end. Now here's where I'm going back to the boots. And I tried a bunch of dark colors trying to see what would work. I tried just going for black, and that didn't really look very good. So I went with a kind of pseudo black for the soles of the shoes. And then we go on to I wanted to use a lot of light grays and darker grays on the boot. So just to make it kind of look more grungy. And I went back. Now here I am going back in to erase all of the tiny little details, which when you zoom out, you don't really see, but it just bugs me. So I look at all of those little details. Now here I am going into shading, and if you ever want to make something look shiny, just add white. White just makes something look so much more reflective. And I went back in to get the skin tone like reflection, and I ended up changing. I think I went with a lighter tone. Yeah, I did a lighter tone for the lit areas on the coat. And here I am shading the legs here. But again, I wanted to make the boots sort of look like they're very grungy, yet kind of almost like robotic in a sense. So I don't know when I start shading them, but when I start, yeah, right here, I started shading them with white to sort of make them look reflective. And I think it turned out pretty good. I went on the red there to make it. I made it reflective because I wanted it to sort of look like a protruding little orb sort of thing on the scabbard there. And I think right here I'm getting pretty close to nearing up with this sketch. But I'm shading. Though those cuffs there were the shading on there was a bit more elaborate, I suppose, than I do with a lot of things. I'm shading the underside of the coat, all of the sort of shading stuff. And now I'm adding in the background. And something, if you haven't noticed, I think I did point it out, all of the cards in this archetype have that same background. Now I'm just doing the finishing touchings, adding the creature symbol, adding the name and all of that. So guys, this is pretty much it. The time lapse here is coming to an end. I'm putting in the ability, and I'm going to put in the damage and health. So that's really about it. Okay guys, so this is the card completed. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys prefer the method that I'm doing now, which is to commentate sort of over the speed art, please tell me in the comments down below if you enjoyed that, if you enjoyed just the music. But I guess that's all I have to show you guys, so I'll see you guys next time.